Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back to Quality Shot Tennis. We've got the return of Rafael Nadal. The king is back on clay. June 5th, 2022, when he played the Roland Garros final in 2022 against Casper Ruud. That was the last time Nadal's played on clay. That was 680 days ago. Nadal's first match on clay in 680 days. A lot of people were worried, is he even going to play another competitive match? Now that he's been withdrawing, there were those worries. We always hoped that he would come back. We got to enjoy every match. What's up, everybody? He's taking on 21-year-old Italian Flavio Cobolli. Hello. Return of Rafa. Man, the chills. The chills just seeing Rafa back on court. The absolute chills of it. Like, share, and subscribe. That's it, guys. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, all that stuff. Appreciate everybody joining in. Should be fun. This should be a fun one. I mean, listen, I've done a lot of players on here. I've done matches for lots of players. I still haven't done a Rafa match. I have not done a Rafa match. So, hell yeah, let's go. Let's do this. Rafa was the one guy I was missing. Because I barely got chances since I've started doing streams on here for Quality Shot Tennis. So Nadal's been out, and it's just great to see Nadal back. Should earn Nadal easily, still without, has played 3 months ago. Okay. Free win. I'm shocked Nadal hasn't pulled out yet. Vamos. Okay. Got a few different reactions. Hello, Zeraphine. Do not care whether Rafa wins or not. I'd prefer that he does, obviously. I'm just happy to see him play again. 100% agree. That being said, if I'm saying my honest opinion, I'm expecting that we're going to see Rafa at a high level. Because Rafa, I just don't think he's the kind of player that's going to show up on the court if he's not going to bring a high level. He's gonna bring it. And let's see what Cobolli has. But definitely, Cobolli should feel like he has an opportunity. It's not like he's playing Rafa in the final of Roland Garros, in his prime. So let's see what happens. But a win over Rafa on clay is a win over Rafa on clay. I mean, Rafa's lost like 43 matches in his entire long career on clay courts. Rafa on clay might be the greatest athlete ever. One of the most dominant athletes in any field, Rafa on clay. So, we already know that, though. We know what we came for. Hey, what's up, Powell? Hello. But no, so show the match. I'm not able to show the match. Sorry about that. Zera. How you guys doing? Other than his foot, what are Nadal's physical challenges today? Definitely kind of an ab issue too with the serve. It's definitely a problem, I would say, as well. Placing the bottles correctly. Yeah, Nadal, like always with the superstitions. Absolutely. Hey, what's up, Lexi? Hey, Dios mío, OMG in English. Vamos, Rafa. Hello. Vamos. I'm so excited to see Rafa play again. I'm excited to call Rafa and see what's in store. These two, obviously, I've never played before. These I've never played before. Cobolli is 62 in the world. He is 62 in the world. He's 9-8 on the season, which is actually pretty good, like just considering for him. Before this year started, he was 6-11 in his entire career to this point, which is a very short time because he's only 21 years old. But he's now played this year the exact same number of matches as he played just before this year started. Not just last year, but at any point. So, which is now, he's, like I said, 9-8 on the year. He's played 17 matches. But winning record, it's not bad. His last losses, he lost to, this is hilarious. I'm sure other people have pointed this out, but he lost to Nadal in the 1st round of qualifying Monte Carlo, which I think is hilarious. And in Miami, he beat Nishioka, which is actually a good win for him because he lost to Nishioka in Los Cabos in February 6-0, 6-1. Then he lost to Cameron Norrie in close 3 sets. You know, he's had a few good wins, though. He beat FAA in Acapulco. He beat Monfils in Montpellier. He beat Nicolas Jarry in Australia. So he's had a few good wins. So, you know, that's kind of what I would say on him. But yeah, Carballes Baena lost in Indian Wells. He lost to Norrie in Miami, lost to Nadal in Monte Carlo. So he's definitely not, you know, like a top 40 level at the moment or anything crazy like that. He's where his ranking is, which is 62 in the world, and we'll see where Rafa is because his ranking is way below that, but he could play way above 62, obviously. So we'll see how it kind of pans out. Rafa's back. Let's go. Rublev lost and poor racket. Yeah, Rublev's losing to everyone now. Yeah, I thought it was going to be another 6-4, 6-4 loss. His last 4 losses have been 6-4, 6-4 to Lehechka and Indian Wells, 6-4, 6-4 to Popperin and 6-4, 6-4 to Popperin, Monte Carlo. Like, and now it's Nakashima. It's crazy. So it's really wild. Miami 6-4, 6-4 to Mahac. He's been losing to everybody. It's quite weird since that Dubai incident. I mean, there's a direct correlation there. I mean, he beat Murray in the first round of Indian Wells right after that, but then he lost to Lehechka, then he lost to Mahac. He's on a 4-match losing streak, which is really unusual. He's going to be out of the top 10 soon, Rublev. Just what it is. It seems like what it's heading to. Yeah, Rafa, the racket is gone. Yep, true. Hey, what's up, Cedric? Big ups. I'm excited. Rafa. At least it's not the knee this time, Lexi. True. It's true. Rublev is coming like Casper when I watch him play. Always make me sad at the end. Yeah, I mean, Rublev is just like, he went from being the Mr. Consistent to now just losing to everyone, and it's crazy. It's crazy to see such a stark downfall. And it really started in Dubai, to be honest. It's not like he was doing poorly until before then. But I think, listen, mentally it's so tough because I've said this before, but I really think slams are the pinnacle of the sport. If you're losing so many like quarterfinals, getting so close but not going all the way, that's also going to make it really tough on you mentally. But I mean, there's a whole myriad of factors, but it's just tough. All right, here we go. Nadal serving his first point on clay since 2022 Roland Garros. Serve from Nadal. It's in the net. Second serve here. Man, this is surreal almost. Back in Barcelona. Serve from Rafa. Kick serve to the backhand of Cobolli. Forehand to Rafa. That goes long. Okay, left 15 for Cobolli. First point in the bank. What's up, everybody joining in? I've got the Nadal versus Cobolli. QualityShot tennis. We have the Rafa match. Appreciate everybody who's joined in. Always feel free, like always, chat away in the chat. I'll try to answer any questions or just reply to different comments you guys might have. Have a bit of a chat. Serve from Rafa. That goes out. Second serve. First few serves seem very tentative, which is not unexpected. That's a double fault. Love 30. First few serves are very tentative, to be honest. We'll see if that improves. Can't stop smiling. Rafa. Yeah. I had a full big smile on my face when I saw Rafa walk out just before I started the stream. Very excited. Very excited. Serve from Rafa here. Serve Rafa. Down the tee, back in a Cobolli. Forehand to Rafa. Forehand to Cobolli. That goes wide. 15-30. I think what everybody's saying, we just got to enjoy Rafa playing. I think that's the right kind of mindset. We should be happy he's on the court. Win or lose, the fact that he's put himself out there is already kind of an accomplishment in itself with all the struggles he's been going through, and it's just great to see one of the greats of the game back on court again. Serve here from Rafa though, but he's still going to be competitive. So let's see how he does. We know that. We know he's going to fight and try his absolute all to win. If he's on the court, that's actually absolutely what it's going to be. Serve here from Rafa. Serve. Out wide back into Cobolli. That goes out. 30-all. 30-all for Rafael Nadal with a good serve out wide. Best serve of his 4 serves so far. I'm going to bowl Rublev for the 45 minutes. I got off work early to watch him play. You should. You should, Zara. He's not been performing like he should. You should say, hey, Rublev, you're a top 10 player. What happened? Hey, Rublev, you were always winning these matches. What happened? I want my money back. Rublev's level fully dropped off. I thought the time has come for Rube to win a big title. Yeah, I thought so too, Powell. I'm not going to lie. I thought so too. We were duped. Serve coming here from Rafa. Serve down the tee, back in Cobolli. That's in the net. 40-30 for Rafa. Serves a little bit better. It started off very, very slow and very tentative. At least a little better with the serve, which I mean that's really not surprising whatsoever. Especially if he's worried that he might, trigger something physically if he does go all the way with the serve. I'm not fully surprised by that. 40-30 Rafa. Serve. Out wide, 4 into Rafa. The backhand of Cobolli. That's in the net. 1-0 for Rafa. Wins his first game in his little comeback. Hasn't played since Brisbane. Everybody thought he was going to play Australian Open. Didn't do that. And he's been withdrawing from a few tournaments. When he withdrew from Monte Carlo, I think everybody got really worried. When he withdrew from Indian Wells, Miami, people were also very, very worried. But when he withdrew from Monte Carlo, where he's had such great success, everybody was like, oh, are we gonna see Rafa this clay season, or are we gonna have the same thing we had last year? So good to have him back. Casper's in Barca too. At least he's smiling. That's more important. Absolutely. I'm with you. Hey, what's up, Naked Eyes? What's up? Good to have you in here. Rafa looks like candy floss in those clothes. It is a bit of a funny outfit. Light purple outfit. Felix won, yeah, for Felix. Let me check on the other scores. That's a good win, though. One of Cobolli's best wins this year, like I mentioned, was against FAA. Earlier in the year, he beat FAA, he's beaten Monfils, he's beaten Jari. Those are a few good wins that Cobolli has had this year. So he's not a nothing player. He's had some decent results. Yeah, FAA beat Martyrer. That's a great win for him. 3 tiebreakers. Very FAA-like match. Yeah, I was looking at the Barcelona scores. I forgot about the check the Munich scores as well. Garin beat Dominic Kopfer. Okay. Shevchenko and Hoffman are at 2-2 in their first set. Okay, interesting. There's also a guy named Marco Topo. And I remember finding out about him when he was originally playing for Serbia. I think he's originally from Serbia, but now he's playing for Germany. But he's a great player. I found out about him when he was like 800, 900 in the world. Now I guess his ranking is much higher up. But he is playing for Germany. It's a German tournament. It's probably got a wild card or something. But he's a great player. I thought he was going to be the next Serbian superstar like Djokovic, but now he's playing for Germany. Backhand, the forehand of Cobolli, forehand, that goes long. So that is 30-15 for Cobolli. The nerves are still going to be there, when you're playing against Rafa. The nerves are still going to be there, creeping in. Like, you're playing one of the greats. Okay, so just imagine it for yourself. You're playing, and I mean, I even imagine that you have the skills and the level and the experience, climbing up to the top that Cobolli has, you're like, okay, you should feel pretty confident. And you have Nadal on the other side, it's a good opportunity to play Rafa. But then just imagine looking on the other side and literally just seeing Rafael Nadal's face. You're like, oh my God. You know what I mean? That is a very human reaction. It doesn't matter if you're like the greatest athlete. You're going to get a little bit nervous. That's just a very human reaction. That doesn't change, even if you're number 30 in the world. Just seeing Nadal's face and being like, oh. And not like whatever. I'm just saying like, that would make anyone a little bit nervous who's been watching tennis for the last 20 years. Let's go Rafa, yeah. Not saying Nadal is some like, unbeatable force or whatever, but I'm just saying. You got respect for Rafa, and seeing what Rafa's done the last 20 years, you're like, oh my God, that's who I'm playing? Jesus Christ. Doesn't matter what the context is. 1-1 with a forehand winner from Cobolli, so Nadal back of the line here to serve. Serve to the backhand of Cobolli. That's in the net. 15-love for Rafa. Court looks nice. I agree. I like it. Is this real life, Jerome? That's what I'm feeling. That's the feeling, isn't it? Is this real life? Let's go Nadal. All right, vamos Rafa. Yep, Alejandro. What's up, Minor? Cobolli, bravo. Okay. Good to have you in here, Alejandro. Forehand. The forehand of Cobolli. Back in Nadal. The forehand of Cobolli. Back in Rafa. The forehand of Cobolli. Forehand of Rafa. That's good acceleration off that forehand from Cobolli. Good forehand so far. Rublev hasn't recovered from that Dubai default. Yeah. I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly when we're gonna see him recover, but man, it's been a tough road the last few weeks, huh? Last month or so since Dubai. That Dubai match is going to be a very important one. It ended up being a very important one. The career of Andrei Rublev. He's been in the top 10 for nearly 4 years straight. He got out of the top 10 for a couple weeks in August of 2022. Other than that, he's been in the top 10 for 4 years straight, 4 or 5 years straight. And he's never losing to top 10 guys. It's a new thing for Rublev. 30-15 for Nadal. A few errors coming from the racket of Cobolli. Italian guys are taking over, by the way. There are too many talented young Italian players. I can't keep track of them. Also, their names are like remind me of each other, a lot of them. I don't like it. Like Cobolli, Fognini. I mean, Fognini is now a veteran, but like Bolelli, and especially playing doubles. But there's a lot of, like, I'm going to look at the list of Italian players. There's a lot of great young Italian players coming up. Musetti, Cobolli, Nardi, Arnaldi. Like, come on. There's so many good ones. Berrettini. Why do all of them end on... Why do they all end the same way on the E sound with the I? That's so weird. Berrettini, Nardi, Arnaldi, Cobolli. It's just Sinner. There's got to be Sinnery or something. Sinner is the one outlier with that. That goes out. 40-30 for Nadal. He's getting away with this sort of not having the same oomph on it as usual. But Cobolli's not really making him pay with that. That's another return error from Cobolli. I do think it's nerves. I would say that it is nerves. Sinnery is definitely a top 5 stupid thing I've said on stream. But it's whatever. It's whatever. Serve from Nadal. Back into Cobolli. Forehand to Rafa. Forehand of Cobolli. That's in the net. 2-1 for Rafa. Wonder if Cobolli thinking, wow, I'm playing Rafa, it doesn't get better than this. Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's probably starstruck. He's probably starstruck, but he's also like, my God, it really doesn't get better than that. Playing Rafa on clay. This is gonna end up being a famous match. Rafa's first match since his potentially last Roland Garros, but maybe not, but at least since Roland Garros 2022. His first match on clay since that. So last set that Rafa played on clay was a bagel against Casper 680 days ago. 1 year, 10 months, and 10 days. The last time that Rafa stepped on his home, the clay. Dubai happened to Rublev. Yeah, exactly. What's up, Sam? Great to see Rafa back. Rafa play on Rafa court. Exactly. don't know why it makes me giggle. Yeah, Rafa doing decent so far. Already a couple games is a good start. Rafa. What's up, Fernando? Is Cobolli any good? Never saw him before. Yeah, I mean, Cobolli, I haven't seen that much of him either, to be honest. I'll be honest. So I'm not. I usually know some things about the young player. I don't know a whole lot about Cobolli, but I know that he's a. I've seen a lot of people say that he's a big talent coming up the tour. I've heard things like he can hit great shots from the back of the court, but that's just stuff that you hear about everybody. So I don't know a whole lot about him. I'm excited to watch this and know more. That's just the honest answer. Usually I like to know more about the players coming in, but I haven't seen a whole lot of Cobolli, unfortunately. He's number 62. Yeah. Borna lost. What a fraud. I don't know what's happened to George, man. What has happened to George? Won Cincinnati, and then he just hasn't done anything since. Got to like the semis of Rome last year, I think, but just hasn't done that much, honestly. Forehand, Nadal. Oh, he goes for a classic forehand passing shot, but it goes just wide. 15 love. I've said this before. I think there's a lot of, there's a lot of arguments like who has the best forehand ever, who has the best backhand ever, who has the best lob ever. I think it's not even like that much of an argument. I think Rafa has the best passing shot ever. The ease at which he hits forehand passing shots from any position in the court is a joke. It's a joke. It's literally a joke. Serve here from Cobolli. 15 love. Forehand of Rafa. The forehand of Cobolli. Backhand of Rafa cross court. Forehand of Cobolli. That's a great squash shot. Backhand slice. Oh, what a drop shot. No way. 15-all. First great shot from Nadal. Genuinely special to witness this together, knowing that the end is in sight. Absolutely, Jerome. I feel the same. I'm happy to watch it with all y'all too. I really am. I want to say that at the start too. Yeah, the end is in sight. That's a good way of saying it. So we got to appreciate every point, every moment, every match. One of the best athletes ever. Backhand pass from Cobolli. That goes out. So 15-30 for Rafa. Quality over quantity. Yeah, exactly. Get more views. 32. Crazy. Nah, I'm good. We're good. We're good. What's up, Tom? What's up? Got 15-30 for Rafa. Go first serve into the net. Cobolli had too many errors, and he's letting Rafa, he's got to be a little bit more aggressive on that serve return too. And now it's Nadal. That's another backhand error that just goes out. So 15-40. 15-40. Sinner, yeah. Yeah, we talk about the Sinner situation with Tsitsipas. That happened, the line call on the Tennis 360 podcast this week. It's going to be coming out today. Yeah, it's definitely a crazy situation. I mean, yeah, it's really unfortunate to see that, and I'm excited for next year when we don't have to have situations like that arise again. Because, man, it's just so frustrating in every way, and it shouldn't happen again the way of the sport. Bonsoir. Cobolli, Nardi, Arnaldi, Passero, Sinner, Musetti. Getting confused with Arnaldi and Nardi. I literally, almost thought they were the same person right when they showed up to the tour. I was like, wait, there are two of them? I just couldn't believe how similar their names were. Their first names are different, Matteo and Luca, but yeah, they both look great. Forehand, that's a great forehand inside out. So deuce. Yeah, Italy is one of the next kind of great countries. For sure. I think France is in a great place too with a lot of great young players. Arthur Fils, Hugo Humbert. You got a guy like Luca Van Asch, who's quite exciting as well. You got other guys in the mix like like ever the wild card Corentin Moutet, who is, you know, one of the bigger talents on the tour, but is another kind of maybe an Alexander Bublik kind of situation where sometimes the mental could get in the way a little bit, or, you know, Nick Kyrgios, Fabio Fognini kind of type, if he's even going to get to that level of play that those guys got to, because Fognini, I think, is like a top 10 talent on the tour. And you'd probably say it's very similar things about Bublik as well. That's a great forehand cross court, by the way, from Cobolli. Found a great angle there. We'll see how Nadal's movement is around the court, if he's going to be able to kind of, you know, have that explosive movement and have the same sprints as he did. He played more aggressive in Brisbane to kind of counteract this. And the serve is the big thing to watch with the fitness, if he can kind of serve the same, which is clear already that he's not going to be able to. That's a backhand out from Cobolli. I don't really understand why Cobolli is kind of playing right into Rafa's hands at the moment. What Cobolli needs to do is what Demonor would likely do against Rafa in the next round, which is make Nadal rally and run all across the court and test his fitness out. That's probably the way to really beat Rafa at the moment. Right now, Cobolli is missing every other, you know, second or third shot of the rally, which is not great. Serve here from the Italian. The backhand of Nadal. Backhand of Cobolli. Backhand of Nadal. Forehand Cobolli. Big forehand of Nadal. Backhand Cobolli. The forehand of Nadal. Backhand Cobolli going backhand to forehand. Righty to lefty. That's in the net. So it's a break point for Rafael Nadal. Let's see if he can pick up here. Yeah, all of a sudden, a lot of good Italian players coming up. Yeah, exactly. Alexander sounds German. Yannick is half German, half Italian. That makes sense. Yeah, well, he's from Italy, but yes, yeah. What is a Cobolli, though? Sonego, too. Cobolli made a final this year. Advantage to Rafa. Backhand, forehand of Cobolli. He's running around. Nadal's making Cobolli run. Oh, backhand just goes over the net. Forehand Cobolli. Backhand volley Nadal. Nadal, backhand. Oh, that goes out. Nadal gets the game. 3-1. Let's go, Rafa. 3-1. Great play there from Nadal. He gets the early break. Very, very exciting. I expect that Nadal will earn today in 2 sets. I agree. I agree. Madrid semis. Oh, okay, got you. Okay, that makes sense, Maynor. Hey, what's up, Joe? Good to have you in here. I appreciate you checking out my new video as well. Always appreciate you joining in, Joe. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Appreciate everybody joining in. Is Cobolli single, asking for a friend? I have no idea, Maynor. I don't know. Shoot your shot. Why not? I think he's 15. He is 21, yeah. 3-1 for Rafa. Serve. Down the tee. Back into Cobolli. Forehand of Rafa. Back into Cobolli. The forehand of Rafa. Back into Cobolli. Cross court. That goes out again. Cobolli making lots of early errors. My Bendorn bus station on my way back to Alicante. Hey, nice, Joe. That's cool. That's cool. Has anyone seen the new Joker trailer? Lady Gaga's also in there. Wow. I'm hella excited. I love movies that are really ambitious and just really kind of are so different from everything else that you usually see in cinemas. That seems like what that's going to be. First one was really good too. And Todd Phillips is a great director. And I'm excited. I think Lady Gaga is also kind of a fearless artist and will add a lot to it. So I think it'll be good. And if it is a musical, Lady Gaga makes sense. She has a great voice. Does really well with emotional stuff. Joaquin Phoenix is one of the best actors of his generation. I just think that I'm so happy that that's a movie that's being made. Like, who greenlit? Nobody should have been allowed to greenlight that movie, but the fact that it's being made, I'm excited. I also love just the Joker. I love Batman stuff, so I'm really excited. It's probably my most anticipated movie this year. I'm not gonna lie, and it usually isn't like a big sequel or like superhero thing, but this year it is because I'm really excited for that. It's just gonna be fun. Served forehand of Cobolli, backhand of Nadal. The backhand slice of Cobolli, that's in the net. 40 love for Nadal. How does Nadal look on court? He's looking good. He's looking good. Cobolli is definitely playing into his hands. I'm not going to even lie, but man, Nadal hasn't played for 3 months and he's already playing very, very well. He's making 80% of his first serves in. A little bit, what's the word? A little bit misleading because they're not with the same, MPH as usual, not with the same oomph as usual. But that being said, he's playing really well so far. Backhand into the net. Old, but fine. Fair enough. How's the senoritas and mojitos and fajitas? Rute is a trash person. I know a lot of people don't like him very much, yeah. Convinced that Arnoldi and Nardi are the same person. They might as well. I mean, have you seen them together? Never. All the young Italian players are the same person, absolutely. No more mojitos for me, Lexi. Rafa looks a lot like how we expect him to be. Exactly. He's doing his thing. He's not the Rafa that we would have seen at Roland Garros 2 years ago or something, but he's looking fine. He's playing well. Well, the bigger test will be when he comes up against a guy like Alex de Minaur. I'm also just going to say that I don't think that it's impossible that he could do something against de Minaur as well and get through that one. It's Nadal on clay. I mean, but we'll see because de Minaur will be tough. I just didn't think that de Minaur even played that incredible last week against Djokovic, even, to be honest, although he was playing Djokovic. But yeah, we'll see. That'll be tough, but we'll see. Mute is a street fighter. Yep. Fognini and Bublik are great. They wanted to play. The problem is their mentality, and I would say laziness. Yeah, Fognini is. I kind of think it's a bit of a cop-out when people call some high-level tennis players lazy, because it's like, okay, well, they got to this point. They must have been tried harder. They must have been pretty good and tried hard enough. But with Fognini, I literally think his problem is laziness. I kind of think Fognini is one of the, I don't think it's talked about enough. I really don't think it's talked about enough. People always talk about Alexander Bublik and Nick Kyrgios, and people always talk about these guys. I will just say, if Fabio Fognini gave just 10 more percent, or he probably should give 20 or 30 more percent than he does in matches generally. But I think it comes down to his personality as well. He's very nonchalant. If he just tried, then he should be a perennial top 10 player, in my opinion. And he probably, at his best, could have been top 5 for 3 or 4 or 5 years in a row. Maybe. Or at least he could have been a top 5 player. He could have been a guy that reached the top 5. If he tried. I don't think that's talked about enough. The guy is crazy talented. And the guy beats Rafa on clay 3 or 4 times. He's an incredible player. Can do well on all the surfaces. His problem is literally just that he doesn't, in matches, it's not just a point like Kyrgios or Bublik. He just doesn't give that 10 or 15% more enough. But he's so talented, he got to this point. It's actually, I don't think people talk about it enough. And I don't usually say that about players, but with Fognini, I absolutely think it's true. With Fognini, it's definitely true that the laziness definitely is a roadblock and an obstruction in his game. It's hilarious. Fognini is one of my favorite players. I'll just say that. I'll be honest. I just don't understand why he got to the top 10. He won Monte Carlo. That was great to see. It made sense. He's such a big talent. But the fact that he didn't do stuff like that a little bit more often, or at least gave himself chances to, that's crazy. Bublik is like Kyrgios. Kyrgios higher peak, though. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Very similar. Okay, I'm leaving. Computer makes problems. That's tough. I'll see you later, Maynor. Appreciate you joining in. See you later, Maynor. Coaches in Spain are way better than the UK and have air conditioning. Yeah, well, Spain's been one of the best countries in tennis for, I don't know, 10, 15 years. Back in Cobolli, forehand to Rafa, back into Cobolli. Forehand of Rafa, back in Cobolli, hits the tape, goes out. 15-30 for Rafa. Rafa is gonna love every minute of this. Back on the clay, which he loves. He's doing what he needs to do. He hasn't really been tested by Cobolli, who's making a lot of early errors, but anyway, that's what it is. By the way, guys, like always, please don't forget to subscribe to the Quality Shot Tennis YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're going for 20K subs next. I appreciate everybody joining in, like always, to the streams. Serve here from Cobolli. That's a wild serve. Cobolli is making a lot of wild errors. Nadal's doing just what he needs to do. Good serve out wide. Forehand Nadal. Drop shot. That's a good drop shot. That's what Cobolli needs to do. Play more consistent. Make Rafa run a little bit. Attack the return. Make Rafa run. Play consistent. I mean, it's, I guess, easier said than done, but it's always, people always say it's very tough to deal with the shots that Nadal hits at you, especially on clay courts. The high bouncing forehands, but he's got to try something to stop this score line from going the way it's going. He's got to push it the other way somehow. Backhand, the forehand of Cobolli. That goes out again. 30-40. Rafa's going to love this. Nadal with the same superstitions, like always, just with everything. You see with everything. With the towels, with, you know, I guess it's not superstition, but kind of wiping dirt off the lines, and, you know, it's just all the same things. It's like, and putting the bottles in place. It's so many of the similar things. Aside for the movie The Fall Guy, I love Ryan Gosling. Okay, nice. Cool. Yeah, he's a good actor, for sure. Serve here from Cobolli. Serve. Backhand of Rafa, forehand to Cobolli. Forehand Cobolli again to the backhand of Rafa. Forehand Cobolli to the backhand of Rafa again. Down the middle, forehand Cobolli, forehand to Rafa. Forehand Cobolli to the backhand of Rafa. Forehand Cobolli smashes it. That's in the net. I just don't know why he feels the need to do that. I don't know why Cobolli feels the need to do that. Maybe he doesn't know another way. He just knows to play aggressive. And he doesn't know how to hit through Rafa. That could be the case, but it doesn't even feel like he's doing his best to run Rafa all across the court. It's not like he's, you know, going for good winners. Like let's say they're going cross court, they hits a great forehand down the line and Rafa still gets to it. And then he goes the other way and Rafa still gets to it. It doesn't feel like he's doing that right now. It just feels like Rafa is just like fairly consistent. That's another good serve on the outside though. So we're back to deuce. Just feels like Rafa's doing Rafa's thing, fairly consistent, hitting good shots. And Cobolli's pulling the cord too early. Nice, Lexi, nice. And for me, the darker, the better. Absolutely. That's why I like DC. They're all darker than Marvel. But of course, I love Marvel. Yeah, I like Marvel too, but I'm with you. I love DC. I love DC. I think it's going in a good direction too when you talk about the movies. But the comics are amazing. I love DC comics. Forehand to forehand of Cobolli, forehand Cobolli. That goes out. So advantage to Rafa. Yeah, I love DC stuff. Very, 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 very fun. Cobolli is so inconsistent this match, and Nadal doesn't even have to play many rallies. And it's clay. Exactly, I agree. I've never seen Cobolli play before. I'm sure this is not the best of what he has to offer. He's 62 in the world, and he's barely making many shots in the court at the moment. He's got to pick up his game, Cobolli. But good stuff for Rafa. That first serve goes out. So now a chance on the outside for Rafa to do something. Second serve, kick serve, down the tee, back into Rafa. The forehand to Cobolli, back in Rafa again. Cross court, that's in the net though. That's in the net. Good point from Cobolli. Good serve down the tee. Just doing what he needs to do. Hey, Zerafine, thank you for the gifting the 5 Quality Shot Tennis memberships. Let me know if you got him. Doesn't look like a tennis player at all. Funny how he wins his matches. Exactly. He's so nonchalant on the court, but I really think he's one of the biggest talents. People don't give him his credit because he's not as fiery as a Kyrgios or as fiery as a Bublik. But he's so, like, he seems so nonchalant. But I think the reason he's able to perform like he does is because his talent is so absurd. Porter asked Rafa yesterday about an injury update, and Rafa said the list is too long to mention. Hopefully he can at least stay fit from now until Roland Garros. Yeah, exactly. So we'll see what all happens. Haha, David and Anthony were gifted subs. That's hilarious. Damn. Anthony, what movie are you most excited for? Most excited. A lot of good movies are coming out this year. Well, I'm going to see Civil War today, which I'm very excited for. I'm going to watch that today. I'm trying. I'll think of what other movies I'm very excited for. I'll look up movies coming out, and I'll tell you which ones I'm most excited for. I always blank easily when I'm on stream when I think about movies or anything like that. Let me look up. Forehand, inside out, forehand of Rafa, forehand of Cobolli, back into Rafa. Forehand of Cobolli, back into Rafa, down the line, back into Cobolli. Forehand of Rafa, forehand of Cobolli, the back end of Rafa. Going back into forehand. That goes long from Rafa. So advantage to Cobolli, at least staying close. At least staying close is Cobolli. Hi, Anthony got a membership. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I'm the one streaming, huh? That is weird. That is weird when the commentators get the memberships, huh? We don't need him. I would give him to other people in the chat if I could. I don't think I can. In celebration of Rafa on court again, absolutely. You seen The Boys? Honestly, that's one that I just haven't seen yet. I haven't gotten around to it. It's on Amazon Prime, right? I just don't have that at the moment. So, Cobolli with a good hold there. 4-2. Love the angle it's approach people with power corrupting. Yeah, I've heard it's a very realistic take on superheroes, which is a lot of fun. Excited for the new Deadpool movie. Yeah, absolutely. I'm also excited for the new Alien movie releasing in August, also for a new Joker. I'm just not a huge fan of like sequel movies generally. Joker is one I'm super excited for. It's Pixar, but Inside Out 2 will be kind of interesting. I really like the original when it came out. I was younger at the time, but I was that is definitely one. What are other ones? I'm trying to remember other movies. Let me see. Gladiator 2, just because I love the original so much. That's going to be good. Lord of the Rings. Excited for that one. It's always hard for me to remember my names. I kind of follow directors more than anything. So whenever I see a good director post on social media, for example, I have a new movie coming out. That's kind of what I go by more than anything. I always watch all the new A24 movies as well. So I'm looking at all those that are coming out. Yeah, I guess there aren't that many movies I'm that excited for before they come out. Civil War is one that I've been wanting to watch for a couple weeks. Or really like a month or so now that I really wanted to watch. There's one other one that I was excited for. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I like those movies. Those are a few. I'm definitely forgetting one that I was quite excited for. All right, 30 left here for Rafa. He's serving. Sorry for that. Camera got away from me there. All right, cool. Should be back. Forehand, that's in the net. 40 left for Rafa. Rafa is cruising at the moment. Cobolli is not doing anything to hurt Rafa. And the way to hurt Rafa would not be to smash winners, probably. It would be to make Rafa run around the court. And that is just not what's happening. That is not what's happening. I love the Deadpool franchise. I love anything that has characters speaking to the fourth wall. The Deadpool franchise is definitely great. So I'm excited for that for sure. I'll look forward to that. It's such a unique superhero franchise. All of them are just such powerhouses and hilarious, well-done movies. I did watch Joker. Yeah. I haven't watched neither Deadpool or Alien. Deadpool, Deadpool is a must-watch for sure. And Alien as well. Yeah, Alien is one of the better sci-fi movies ever. Has a really good sequel, too, with Aliens. Yeah, it's just a must-watch. It's just a must-watch. I don't even think it's like the fact that I don't think Alien is that scary of a movie, but it's just so I don't know. It's so extraordinarily well done and so influential. And when it's very enjoyable as well. I've watched that quite a few times. House of the Dragon season 2 coming up on June 16th. Excited for that too. Nice. Deadpool's action packed and funny. Yeah, absolutely. When is that new Rick and Morty season coming out as well? The new season that came out, season 7, I'd like to say, was actually quite good. I thought it was one of the better Rick and Morty seasons, despite not having Justin Roiland. And I was worried that the writing would fall apart without the guy who's been writing the show for a long time, just in terms of the quality of the if the show would would feel like a completely different show without the same writer. I thought they would probably there's so many talented people. I thought that most likely they could replace the voices well enough, just because I've seen that happen before, and I know there's so many good Rick and Morty impersonators out there. But I was more worried about the writing, and I thought the writing is just as good as ever. So I'm excited for when we see the next one of that. I'm a big fan of like animation stuff, so backhand Cobolli, that's in the net. Love 15. Also, by the way, Arcane season. I cannot wait for Arcane season 2 as well. That's going to be in November. That's something I'm very excited for as well. The forehand of Rafa. It's on the baseline forehand Rafa. That's topspin, backhand Cobolli. Smash of Rafa, put away. 15-30 for Rafa. We'll see if he can pull away here. So good to see Rafa back on court on the dirt that he loves. 2 points away is Rafa here. Serve down the tee, backhand slice of Nadal. That goes out. So 30-all. We're seeing a lot of quick points in either direction. In terms of, great shot making or rallies, it hasn't been that exciting. It's almost amazing how many short points we've had, but anyway, it is Rafa who's 2 points away from taking the first set. It's a serve into the net. Another serve coming here from Cobolli. Backhand of Rafa, way up high. That goes out. So 40-30 for Cobolli. I haven't been to the cinema since before lockdown. Just been waiting for the right film. Wow, Joe. Okay. Are you interested in any of those movies that we mentioned? Yeah, I mean, there were some movies last year that I thought were phenomenal, but yeah, there are definitely going to be some more good ones this year. But I thought last year was a very good year for movies. Backhand Rafa, the forehand of Cobolli. Backhand Rafa. Oh, what a backhand. That backhand's still been killer. I noticed that in Brisbane too. His backhand was actually really, really impressive. I mean, we're used to that. We're used to Rafa, not having a weakness on either side. He can pull off great winners off of either side. But especially in Brisbane, I noticed that backhand was really killer. We're at deuce here. Serve from Cobolli. No, don't know how much longer we're going to have Rafa around. Got to enjoy every match that we get from. This could be another win. Serve the backhand of Rafa. That's in the net from Cobolli. Gets away from him there. Bottom of the net. Advantage to Rafa. Still just way too many quick points and too many errors from the side of Cobolli. Deadpool still won the best. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's just hilarious. And I love the Suicide Squad that came out with James Gunn's Suicide Squad. It reminds me of that. And I just think DC is going to go in such a great direction with James Gunn and with everything. Backhand. And yeah, Deadpool is great too. Backhand, forehand of Cobolli. That's in the net. Rafa gets his first set. That's another it's another set in the bank for Rafa. And he's one set away from a victory here in Barcelona. 43 minutes. Look at the stats here. It should be like 50 unforced errors for Cobolli or something. This stat sheet usually is very kind of kind in giving unforced error counts. But yeah, Nadal didn't face a single break point, which is kind of amazing. Partially with help of Cobolli for sure. But yeah, I mean, Rafa made 71% of his first serves in, which is pretty good. But yeah, okay, there you go. Set 1 statistics: 3 winners for Rafa, 12 errors. 7 winners for Cobolli, 27 unforced errors. 27 unforced errors in 8 games for Cobolli. That is nuts. But that's exactly what it felt like. What did I say? 50? That's not that far off. It's not that far off. Yeah, even better, by the way. Nadal made 78% of his first serves in. I mean, Nadal just did what he needed to do. He wasn't tested whatsoever, let's be honest. He wasn't tested at all. Nadal was not tested. The new Mad Max movie looks good too. Yeah, there have been a lot of Mad Max movies over the years, but they've been quite good recently, so we'll see. That should be good. Wonder if Star Wars The Acolyte will be good or terrible. I used to be a big Star Wars guy. I'm not so much anymore, but I watched season 1 of The Mandalorian. That Mandalorian is quite good. Dune 2, highly recommended. Nice. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. Arc, so many good movies. The minds of these script writers are on another level. Wow, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, especially with movies like Dune. And they're based off really good books, and they have to really kind of, please the fans of those books, but also cinema fans. And I feel like those movies do a really good job of that. Stay true to the original, but also just make it a great cinematic experience. Joker looks more musical, judging by trailer. I hope it's good like the first one. I think it is. I just think it's going to be very different, but I think it's going to be good. When it's supposed to be a musical, yeah, it's going to be a musical. I hope it's not a musical. Sam, the first one's perfect. Hopefully, the sequel doesn't ruin it going forward. Fair enough. I think it's going to be different, but I kind of think it's going to be good, but we'll see. 3 winners, 12 errors, 14 French Opens. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't incredibly high level from either, but Cobolli with 27 unforced errors in 8 games is almost unprecedented. Trying to break a record for most unforced errors in 8 games. Yeah, what's up, Sean? Vamos, Rafa. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, I was going to say, Joe, did you accidentally do Roger and then go for Rafa? I saw that. Rafa emoticons in the chat. All the members. Rafa emoticons in the chat. The set's not full musical. Music will be essential. I like that more. That's good. I'm actually hella excited. 1 forehand winner and 8 forehand unforced errors. Yeah, it's probably not going to be good enough against Alex de Minaur, but right now, Cobolli probably would lose to any top 100 player. I'm just going to be honest. If he keeps hitting unforced errors like this. That being said, Rafa is doing what he needs to do. Rafa's doing what he needs to do, but Cobolli is playing shocking. Just being honest. Serve here from Rafa. But anyway, Rafa, he's a set away from a victory. That's all that matters. Cobolli thinking to himself, yeah, Rafa on clay. It's all nerves. Yeah, I know exactly. It's all nerves. He's completely overhitting. Forehand inside out. Forehand, that goes out. There you go. A little bit more within himself and constrained, and he did what he needed to do. There's ways of getting advantages and points without absolutely going for broke. We got 15 all. There are only a few players that I've seen, go for broke nearly every single point and make any kind of, strides on the tour. Nicolas Basilashvili is pretty. It's not that far from that sometimes. I feel like he is very he just goes for it every shot. But you're not going to have a lot of success playing in that kind of style. Not a whole lot. Joker meets Bollywood. That would be incredible. Bollywood movies are nuts. Like Indian movies, the special effects in Bollywood movies are it's just incredible. It's incredible stuff. Forehand down line, the forehand of Rafa. Oh, what a forehand. Backhand. That's a great forehand. That's a Rafael Nadal forehand. Still has some great forehand swings in him still. How good is it to see Rafael Nadal back on clay courts? First time since his match versus Casper. How good is this? I'm loving it. I feel like also, by the way, even if Cobolli does pick up his level, I think Nadal's level is only going to keep rising as well. That was his first set in 3 months. And remember, that Brisbane is the only tournament he's played in about almost a year and a half. So he's still got Nadal himself is still getting in the groove of things. Damn it, I'm not paying attention to Rafa's match. Very good, let's see. But Joaquin can really super well, so not surprising. Hello, walk the line. Yeah, true. Exactly. So I think it's going to be great. I still think Joaquin Phoenix's performance in Gladiator is one of the better performances I've seen of this century. Especially that one scene, and everybody who's seen Gladiator knows what I'm talking about. The crying scene with the dad. I just think that has stuck in my memory. And yeah, Walk the Line is fantastic. He's been in so many good performances. Her as well. Backhand, forehand Rafa. Backhand of Cobolli down the line. Backhand of Rafa. Forehand of Cobolli. Okay, it's a little bit better from Cobolli now. That backhand goes out. It's a first break point in the match for Cobolli, and he earns it. He earns it because he's still playing aggressive, but he's playing more within himself. Maybe the nerves have settled away now. It finally feels like there's a bit of a, some worry for Rafa, or a bit of a contest happening here. Did Rafa play much at Brisbane? I missed it. Yeah, he did. Yeah, 3 matches. Exactly, Powell. Yeah. Yeah, against Jason Kubler, Jordan Thompson, and Dominic Thiem. Thiem was his first match back in his comeback. That's an incredible drop shot. Rafael Nadal learning from his young compatriot Carlos Alcaraz with the drop shot to save break point. Nadal learning from the young ones. I mean, listen, that was a +1 drop shot. Literally like an inch in front of the net. That's incredible stuff to save a break point. Gladiator, I agree. I feel he was robbed there, and so was Ridley Scott. Absolutely, I agree. That movie is freaking incredible. I love that movie. Forehand to the backhand of Rafa, backhand of Cobolli to forehand to Rafa. Back in Cobolli. That's in the net. Advantage to Nadal. A few things have always taken my mind with Gladiator. That line, like, I'll get my revenge, whether it's in this life or the next. And just everything about that movie, it's such a masterpiece. I remember seeing a video of them asking different professional tennis players, what's your favorite movie of all time? And nearly every single player said Gladiator. There's an ATP Tour video from like 2009. I remember seeing it when it came out with like Rafa and Novak, and like definitely more than 50% of the players said Gladiator, which I thought was really interesting, actually. I always remembered that. Yeah, Gladiator is great. It's such a hype up movie too. Yeah, that movie is a masterpiece, and Ridley Scott is awesome. He's just one of the great directors. And Raised by Wolves is underrated. It sucks that it was canceled because it didn't reach anywhere near the potential that it had to reach. Great HBO show. That goes out from Cobolli, so it is 1-0 for Rafa, who storms ahead into the lead. That guy Cobolli, what happened to his hair? Apologies for a typo error. Fans, please forgive me. I don't know, different haircut, I guess. First against team, I think 7-5, 6-1. Third loss to Thompson after having match points. Easy ones lost, got injured and lost. Yeah, Jordan Thompson was nuts. 3 match points and lost. I think it was his first time losing a match with 3 match points up since losing to Raonic at Indian Wells in like 2015. I think that was only a second time losing with 3 match points period since like 2005 or something. 2005 or 2006. So Nadal barely loses with match points. That was a crazy 3.5 hours. Jordan Thompson played insane. He was playing so high level. And even the match point was crazy. It was like the longest rally of the match. It was like 30 shots. And there was a train sound like twice during the rallies. I thought that was going to be the last. I got worried after the Monte Carlo withdrawal that, hey, is it a possibility that could be the last point of Rafa's career? I was really hoping not. And how good is it that Rafa is back for Barcelona? It just really, I got worried. I'm not going to lie. I got worried for Rafa. I got worried. So it's good to see him back. Is it pronounced Pavel, or am I wrong as usual? Right, okay. Thank you. Yeah, and if I'm mispronouncing your names, please always correct me. Okay, got it. Pavel. That first serve. Sorry for mispronouncing. Pavel. This is a classic American thing of reading in the most English way possible, always. Forehand down into the outside, forehand inside out, forehand to Rafa, down line, what a shot. Oh, that is a winner, and that is a big reaction. Shot of the match for Rafa. We have a Rafael Nadal back, still killing it. Love it. Oh my God, look at that shot. Look at the way the crowd reacted to his home crowd. Man, you can't script this better. What a shot from Rafa. Oh my God. And that passion that allows him to come back from injury time and time again. Rafa returns. And he hits a ridiculous rip on that forehand. That's a forehand in the net, though. 15-30. The king of clay back on the dirt. I love it. Back end of Rafa to the back end of Cobolli. That's in the net. 15-40 for Rafa. Whose player is better? Felix Auger-Aliassime or Benoit Paire? FA for sure. Is that who are they playing each other next, or what is FA is playing Daniel? Yeah, FA is better than Paire. He got the win today against Martyr. FA is a former world number 6. Serve Cobolli down the tee. Back forehand to Rafa. Back into Rafa now at the forehand of Cobolli. Inside out. That goes out. Rafa is at 2-0. Some great forehand. Some great shots from Rafa. Cobolli still overhitting. And I feel like Cobolli would just rather not be on the court at the moment. 6-2-2-0. Could you ask for a better return to the clay courts for Rafa? Could you ask for a better return to the clay courts for Rafa? So good to see. Rafa on clay is just, there's nothing better. Huh? Gladiators is one of those movies where I can watch again over and over again. I agree. My most replayed scene would be where he took his mask off. Called that a mask during that time. Yeah, a mask for sure. Yeah. I don't know if that's the proper name, but I know what you mean. That movie is freaking incredible. The direction, the cinematography is unbelievable. FA, yeah. Well, mate, where are you from? I'm from Georgia, the U.S. From Duluth, Georgia, in the U.S. FA wins a 3 tiebreak match today against Martyr. He comes back 5-2 down the third set. Yeah, great win for Felix. I hope that gives him a lot of confidence. That's in the net, so 15 love. Who is next for Rafa? Demonor. Alex Demonor. The demon is next. Anthony, wow, you're next, Anthony. I'm going to forfeit. I don't want to play Rafa on clay. Wow. That winner, absolutely. This is awesome. I love watching this with y'all, too. The Rafa return to the tour. 15 love. Anthony's Demonor for me looks a lot like him for me. Forehand, that goes out. A little bit out. 15 all. For me, Munich is the perfect tournament for him to get more confidence. Yeah, for sure. I really hope that Felix comes back to form. If he can find it on clay courts, which is generally his worst surface, it would be really incredible. I really hope that he starts playing his absolute best during the grass swing. He absolutely should. He should be a contender on grass courts, but he just hasn't found the form. I really hope that he gets the form again. I still expect him to this year to get better form. When we get to the grass, when we get to the hard courts, and especially the faster hard courts, I've got some big hopes for FAA. I hope he can get them right, because I don't want another Chapo situation, and I hope Chapo can find it again too. But for FAA, I mean, they're different players. For Felix, he should be better than he's doing at the moment. 15-30, chance for Cobolli now. He already had a break point earlier in the set, or in the last service game, I should say. That first serve goes out from Rafa. Second serve. Chance here for Cobolli. Oh, that's a double fault. Very poor one, too. Right in the middle of the net. Right in the middle of the net. We got 15-40 for Flavio Cobolli, who's already definitely playing a better second set than he did the first set. It's not even particularly close. Even when it got broken, Nadal played a very good return game. So I think Cobolli's picked up his level. Let's see if he earns a break. This is his, I believe, his second and third break points. First serve hits the tape back in his side. Second serve. Second serve. Rafa. To the forehand of Cobolli. Forehand to Rafa. Forehand of Cobolli. Back in Rafa. Oh, it goes wide. 2-1 for Cobolli. Gets it back. We're back on serve. We are back on serve. We are back on serve, guys. Dios míos, Cobolli. Yeah, Maynor. Welcome back. Welcome back. Cobolli's back in business. He is back in business. Oliver Reed, he was a great actor. He was in Gladiator. Yeah, R.I.P. RIP for sure. We're at 2-1. Let's see if Cobolli can make some strides. By the way, if you this is what stat sheets are good for. I'm not positive, but I think if you look at the stat sheet, the numbers will be even though Cobolli is still down. I feel like the numbers could be kinder for him here. Although actually maybe not, maybe not. The winners to errors for sure, but I guess it doesn't have it on here anyway. It feels to me on an eye test that Cobolli has started the set a little bit better. Nadal obviously in the tournament of protected ranking. If you weren't in here earlier, I was mentioning that Cobolli is 62 in the world, 21-year-old young Italian player. He's 9-8 on the season. He's played 17 matches. He's played 34 matches in his career. That means that already it's only April, and he's played the exact same amount of matches this year as he has had in his career before this year in general. He's 9-8 on the year so far. He was 6-11 coming into the year, so he's done pretty well. His last loss was to Sumit Nadal in Monte Carlo first round of qualifying, where Nadal got through qualifying, had a really good run actually. I forgot who Nadal beat, but so that's not that bad of a loss, even though he lost like 6-3, 6-2. Yeah, Nadal beat Arnaldi. Nadal beat 2 season qualifying Diaz Acosta and Cobolli. Then he beat Matteo Arnaldi to become first Indian man to win a match at Monte Carlo. Then he lost to Runa in a tight 3 sets. So it's not a bad loss for Nadal. And before that, he's had a few good wins this year, like against Monfils, against Jari at the Australian Open in a best of 5. Acapulco, he got through qualifying. Then he beat Felix in 3 sets before losing to Tsitsipas 6-3, 7-6. Lost to Carballes, Baena, and Indian Wells in straight sets. Not a great loss. Beat Nishioka in Miami, then lost to Nori in a close 3 sets. And then, the loss to Nadal in Monte Carlo. So it's been up and down. A few good flashes of showing that he's a talented guy with some weapons. But it's been up and down. It hasn't always been great. But, that's kind of what it's been for Cobolli. Forehand Rafa, the forehand of Cobolli, inside in, back in Rafa. What a shot cross court. It's a great angle. Forehand Rafa, another good angle cross court. Back in Cobolli, he's defending. Forehand inside out. Cobolli with a squash that goes out though. Rafa is back in business. That forehand is killer as ever. Finding angles all over the court. And that backhand was what really opened up the court amazingly as well. Rafa is Rafa. Legends never die. And he is still killing it on the tennis court. Legends never die. Legends never die. They never give up. Just the fact that he's back playing is an accomplishment in itself. 37, almost 38 years old. Dealing with, like he said yesterday, just many different injuries. Keeping him out, but he's back in front of the home crowd. He's winning 6-2, 2-1. Forehand Cobolli, the back into Rafa. Cross court, forehand Cobolli. Forehand Rafa. Inside out. Oh, shot goes over the net, but goes just wide from Cobolli. Hits the tape, but goes wide as it drifts over the net. So 15-40. 2 break points for Rafa. 2 break points for the Spaniard. 2 break points for the Spaniard. Go away, Cobolli. Nadal is better than Nadal. That's not, well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how Rafa can do on the comeback, Maynor. In general, no. And Nadal's playing well so far. That's a double fault. 3-1 for Rafa. He gets he gets the lead. Once again, the set. Up a break. Up a break. I love the Stuttgart tournament. Indoor clay looks really good for some reason. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. I liked it last year as well. And so many top players playing just like last year. Who's playing right now? Vondrousova taking on Vekic. I want to watch some of that. Noskova versus Ostapenko later today. I'll definitely catch some of that. So many top players playing that tournament. Both of the 500s this week. So big. I mean, especially if Alcaraz could have played Barcelona, but either way, we have so many top players playing. And Rublev is out, by the way, Barcelona now. So Rublev's on a 4-match losing streak, which is unheard of for Rublev. In fact, he hasn't won a set in any of those matches. He hasn't won a set, and if I'm not mistaken, 7 of the 8 sets that he's lost were 6-4 in those matches, which is so weird. But yeah. He's on a 4-match losing streak. Last match that he won was the match right after Dubai against Murray in the first round of Indian Wells. Backhand, that goes long. So 15-love for Rafa. Rafa playing better in the second set, too. Maynor, Nadal punt again. Nadal. Yeah, well, first Cobolli plays Nadal, and then he plays Nadal, so... It is unfortunate that I don't know if that's good or bad for Suman Nadal, the fact that he has all those Nadal compared, but it's definitely very funny. It is very, very funny. Forehand, the backhand of Rafa. It's a tape and goes out. 15-all. Backhand, the forehand of Rafa, cross court. Backhand of Cobolli, the forehand of Rafa, backhand Cobolli. Runs around, hits the forehand, backhand Cobolli. Again, on that deuce side. Oh, that's a great drop shot. That Nadal drop shot has come into play quite a few times. Really learning from Carlitos. Rafa's had a good drop shot, though. And anyway, working the full court. Very, very good. Cobolli's kind of... Nadal's playing smart. I'll tell you why. Nadal's always very kind of smart and high IQ, but I'll tell you why. Because Cobolli now has kind of last been right on top of the baseline and smashing unforced errors every shot and going for winners and hitting errors. Now he's moved backwards, and Nadal's been very cruel. He's like, okay, you're going to move backwards. I'm going to hit drop shots because Cobolli probably isn't used to playing that style. Nadal's like, okay, well, you're going to move back. Drop shot winner. So anyway. Serve down the tee, backhand Cobolli, forehand Rafa. Backhand of Cobolli. That goes out. So good to have Rafa back. And you think about, hopefully Rafa can play another big tournament. Last big tournament that Rafa played was the Australian Open. Last year. Last big tournament that Rafa played on clay courts, Roland Garros, that he won. So, man, how good would it be to have Rafa back in Madrid? I hope so. Barcelona has girls too. Thought that's for the men's only. No, so Stuttgart has the female players, and Barcelona has the men's players. One is only ATP, one is only WTA. So that's how that is. So men only this week. Women play Stuttgart this week. Yeah, that's it, Pavel. Too many tournaments. I'm guilty for not watching WTA lately, unless it's Reba or Vika or Layla and Emma. Yeah, I feel that. There's been a lot of tennis going on. I probably should have. I was so busy, and I definitely mentally got. I think I need a little bit small of a mental break, and I didn't watch that much of Monte Carlo. I was happy to watch the final, but I caught up on a bunch of the matches that happened, which I was happy about. And I was so happy with the Casper win over Novak. I didn't catch it in real time, but I saw the replay, and I was very proud of Casper for getting the win. Sad that he played in the final in the way that he did, but yeah, anyway. How come there's no girls here? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Lexi, I wish there was more WTA ATP. It's unfortunate. The more that we can have of that, the more I'm down for that. But Stuttgart is also a big tournament. It's all the way in Germany. So I mean, this one's in Spain, that's in Germany. So Yeah, I guess they want more WTA players to play Stuttgart. They have all the top players playing Stuttgart. Barcelona was there. Then maybe you'd have Swiatek or, or Coco or another player playing in Barcelona. So I think that's part of the reason. We have two big 500s going on. Serve. That goes out. Second serve for Cobolli. Kick serve. Forehand of Rafa. The backhand of Cobolli. Forehand Rafa again. I mean, come on. Forehand Rafa. The forehand's still so good. Backhand pass. Oh, that's really good from Cobolli, though. 30 love. What's up, Alejandro? Sorry, I don't think this is a Italian, I believe. I don't speak it, so I'm sorry for that. Is Collins playing Stuttgart? I don't think so. I do not think Danielle Collins is playing this week. I believe not. Yeah, she is not. Easy win for Rafa. Yep. Rafa 2 games away. Cobolli at 40 love. Yeah, it is. It's been simple for sure. Cobolli has not had much of anything to. He has not played a smart match. 27 unforced errors in 8 games is crazy. That really is crazy. That's like 3.5 errors a game. Unforced errors a game or something. Forehand, that's good from Cobolli. So 4-2. 4-2. By the way, I think that everybody started saying "vamos" as a thing instead of "let's go," even if you're like an American player or whatever. I think we're gonna see a similar thing with Forza as well, especially with so many good Italian players. Because let's just be honest, Forza and Vamos sound cooler than "let's go." Like Forza and Vamos sound cool. I think we're gonna see a lot of that. I've seen so many American players saying "vamos" instead of "let's go," and I think that's really cool. And big thing that Alcraz started up. We're gonna see a similar thing with Sinner and Italian players in Forza as well. Because obviously "let's go" in Italian is Forza. I think we're gonna see more of that too. And I'm still hearing it. A lot of that's for the for Cobolli, but a lot of Forzas from his camp trying to get him pumped up. Listen, this is Cobolli's chance to try to beat Rafa on clay. Let me find Rafael Nadal's record on clay courts. By the way, he has a ridiculous record on other surfaces too. It's not like he's all-time good just across the board, but on clay courts he's like superhuman. So let me tell you his record. On clay, Rafa on clay, like I said, is one of, if not the best athletes ever. That's in the net. Rafa on clay. So he's won 474 matches and he's lost 45. So there you go. This is his 520th match on clay courts. 474 has lost 45 matches throughout his whole career. That means starting from 2003, I think. 2002, 2003. That is really, really crazy. It almost doesn't even seem like it would be that much. When you really think about it, you can almost count the losses that he's had on. It feels like you can think about them in your head. I'd like to see a list of those losses. In fact, I might look them up just to see something interesting. Forehand back into Rafa cross court. Maybe a big moment in this match if Cobolli wants to do anything here. Backhand cross court. Rallying a little bit better now. Forehand Rafa cross court. The backhand Cobolli. Forehand Rafa down the line. Finally, Rafa tested a little bit here. Forehand Rafa. Inside out. It's a great shot. Squash shot. Yeah, it's in though. It's a great shot. Forehand cross court. Backhand Cobolli. Slice. Lob smash. That is why Nadal is one of the best to ever do it. That is why Rafael Nadal is one of the best to ever do it. And the yells and the clapter, they know that it's been 680 days since Rafa's played a clay court match. They might not know the number, but they know it's been a minute, and they are happy to see their guy in his hometown killing it with a smash. And that was a great squash shot from Cobolli, by the way. He's got some skills. He doesn't really have consistency at the moment, but that smash was stellar. 30-15 for Rafa. Point of the match. Who do you think can win RG 15 times because Rafa has 14? Nobody is ever going to win another slam 14 times, in my opinion. You never know. It's sports. And really, you never know. But in my opinion, yeah, that's not going to happen again. Back into Cobolli. Back into Rafa. Four into Cobolli. Four into Cobolli. Goes for a big one down the line, but it's 40-15. Cobolli has not played a very smart match. It's Nadal trying to get to 6-2, 5-2. What was it against Jason Kubler, the last match that I won? It was like 6-2, 6-1. His records will take another lifetime to be broken. Yeah, absolutely. Anthony, do you do any cross-training for tennis? Like workouts to supplement tennis? Yeah, I mean, I do. I try to do workouts. I've been doing workouts like almost every day, whether it's just different cardio stuff or ab workouts and stuff like that. So I definitely want to do more, but to me, it's been like a start, just like to do one every day. And then I'm open to do more. I'm only really starting to get back into tennis, but like playing it constantly and playing leagues and stuff. This year I've been slacking a little bit. I said that on stream too. Last year I played a lot, but last year I was playing a lot of doubles. This year I'm going to start hopefully playing a lot more singles, and I would love to get into routines where I'm eating better and doing that. But I do a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. And I always try to do a workout before I play a tennis match, like whether it's the night before or the day, like the morning before. I try to get my body moving a little bit because I always notice I'm moving just a little bit quicker. Sometimes you can tire yourself out or hurt yourself or like other stuff in the workout, so you want to be careful. But very short kind of workout. Usually the day, like the night before, I try to do that because it always seems to help for me. Everybody's got different things. But yeah, I do a little bit. Forza reminds me of the Forza Horizon game. Oh, gotcha. That's funny. At least Cobolli can say that I played Rafa during his last matches. Exactly. Yeah, that's so true. Everybody can say that. It's going to be interesting to see who is going to be Rafa's last opponent. Federer kind of had three last opponents. He had Hubert Hurkacz, he had Jack Sock, and he had Francis Tiafoe. Jack Sock kind of hit the last shot of Federer's career with a forehand passing shot. But it's Hubert Hurkacz who beat him in his last singles match. Also beat him in his last competitive match that counted for points. Beat him in his last Grand Slam match. So it's kind of Hurkacz, and it's also kind of Tiafoe, who was also playing with Jack Sock. So, but yeah, you think about other players. Benjamin Becker was the last player to play Agassi. Agassi was the last player to play Sampras. Who else? You know, it's interesting to think about. What's his name? Federico Del Bonis was the last guy to play Del Potro. Zverev was the last player to play Ferrer. Ruud was the last guy to play Tsonga, if I'm not mistaken, at Roland Garros. It's going to be interesting to see who ends up being Rafa's last opponent, because they have that'll be a story for them to tell their whole life. That's a great drop shot from Cobolli, by the way, who gets to 15 love. I do think a fitting way for Alcaraz to end would be in doubles, kind of like Roger, if he plays with Alcaraz in a doubles match. I don't think it gets much better than that. Maybe the only way it could be better is if he plays Alcaraz in a singles match, maybe in the semifinals or final of the Olympics or something. That would be amazing. Or at Laver Cup, who knows? They might, Rafa might play Laver Cup, but I kind of would highly doubt that happens. 30 love here, Cobolli. He's at 2-5. Let's see if Cobolli can at least get one more game on the board. I'm glad Raducanu won the Billie Jean King Cup against Garcia. Yeah, Billie Jean King Cup match. Yeah, she won a couple of matches, and that is a big, big match. Absolutely. Yeah, I hope that she can play into form. It would be so good to see Raducanu and Fernandez both just performing at a top level, showing the potential they showed from their runs at the U.S. Open. Fernandez has been doing pretty well. Raducanu's got to pick it up, and that is a big win. Forehand, that's a good hold from Cobolli at love. So 5-3. He gets it right back to Rafa. Let's look at the stats real quick before we end off. Thanks, everybody, for joining in. Got potentially just one more game left, but the Rafa comeback match. Rafa first match on clay courts. Here's what the stats are in this set in particular. Rafa making less first serves in, but Cobolli is making just 44% of his in. They're doing just about the same on serve. Nadal is serving a little bit more because Cobolli's made it a few deuce games. It does not have winners to errors, unfortunately. Yeah, there you go. Rafa's been broken once. Cobolli's been broken twice. Rafa was broken at 2-0. Cobolli came back to 2-1, but then Rafa got the break right back. That goes out from Cobolli. But yeah, there's some records that the big three have that I just really think are not going to be broken. And it's going to be interesting to see which are. Like Novak, his weeks at number 1, absolutely insane. Way more than anybody else has had in the past, but also you just can't help but think in the back of your mind, if he didn't have Roger or Rafa there, for example, like Roger is the second most weeks at number 1 with like whatever 310. And Rafa as well gained weeks at number 1, Murray as well. Like you just wonder, maybe he could have even picked up more weeks at number 1 had it not been for like if he only had one of those guys playing, for example, or something like that. Like, so you kind of wonder if maybe that record could be broken. But yeah, we'll see what happened. Roger played Tiafoe, or you meant the Laver Cup? Yes, in the Laver Cup. That's what I meant. Yep. Rafa plays a day after tomorrow. I think it would be tomorrow. I just think it would be tomorrow, but I'll check. Forehand. It's in the net from Cobolli. It's a triple match point for Rafa. Triple match point for Rafa in his comeback. 6-2, 6-3 is a very welcome scoreline. He's at the finish line here. He's at the finish line. Yeah, they play tomorrow. And it says 10 a.m. here. I don't know if that's confirmed, but yeah, Rafa will play again tomorrow against Alex de Minaur. He's got 3 match points here for his 475th win on clay courts. His first win on clay since he beat Casper Ruud and Roland Garros. In a funny way, this is almost equally dominant. Rafa loves his turf. He has a serve to the backhand of Cobolli. Forehand to Rafa. It goes for a big one. That would have been a good way to finish it. But it goes long, 40-15. We're still in this one. Rafa de Minaur is going to be quite good. Nadal de Minaur is going to be quite good. Nadal's 3-1 against Alex de Minaur, by the way. They've never played on clay courts. They played once on grass courts at Wimbledon 2018. He won in straight sets. Also beat him in straight sets Australia 2019. Serve from Rafa. That goes long. But de Minaur did beat him last year at the United Cup, 7-5 in the third. So, but they have not played on clay courts. We'll see. That'll be a really interesting match. Big test for both players, and particularly Rafa. Backhand. That's in the net. Rafa is back in winning ways on clay, and you just knew that's exactly how the story should go. Rafa is back in winning ways on the clay, and he is back. Big joy to watch this man back. It's going to be a good one against de Minaur. Cobolli did not play very well, but Rafa did what he needed to do, and he had some incredible shots in that second set that were really just phenomenal. He still can hit some great forehands, some great backhands, great drop shots, comes to net well. He had about 78% of his first serves in the first set. If Nadal's on the tennis court, he's high level. I appreciate everybody joining in. This one was fun. Let's go, Rafa. Yahoo. Rafa gets the win. Rafa gets the win. And yeah, he'll have Alex de Minaur next. 3-1 is the record for Rafa against Alex. But yeah, their first match on clay courts is definitely going to be a different thing altogether. So that should be interesting. That should be interesting. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it. Thanks, Edric. Thank you, Lexi. Congrats, Rafa. Congrats, Rafa, for sure. 6-2, 6-3 for Rafa, the Spaniard, the legend. The man, the myth. Yeah, this is the match stats, by the way, according to tennis24.com. Pretty good for Rafa on the serve. I mean, first serve points won 78%. That is really impressive. Cobolli not doing as well, also making just 49% of his first serves in. I mean, the stats are a bit shocking. 10 winners for Cobolli, 41 unforced errors. That's according to Tennis TV. That's something else. Nadal, 8 winners, 22 unforced. But listen, I don't care. Rafa played well. He wasn't really tested or challenged. de Minaur is going to be the big challenge. de Minaur is going to be the big challenge. Rafa broke 4 times. He got broken once. It was a good match by Rafa. He did exactly what he needed to do. And de Minaur is going to be the big test. Back to winning ways in an hour and 25 minutes. Yeah, thank you everybody for joining in. Thank you, Pavel. Thank you, Maynor. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Joe. See you guys later. Vamos. Vamos is right. Vamos. Thank you. It's going to be really interesting against Alex tomorrow. I think Alex is going to do better than Cobolli. I think de Minaur is going to make Rafa run a little bit. I think de Minaur is going to be able to make Rafa run a little bit. He's not just going to be going for, just pulling the cord early. That being said, de Minaur is playing some of the best tennis of his life. He's in the top 10, or I think just outside the top 10 now, if I'm not mistaken. But, he's been playing the best tennis of his life. His career high ranking. Just got to the quarterfinal of Monte Carlo, which is good for him as well. Didn't have to play a seed. He beat Talon Greeks for Popyrin, although Popyrin beat Rublev, who himself hasn't been performing very well. He beat Wawrinka, although he beat Wawrinka 6-3, 6-0, so that's impressive. Against Djokovic, it was just not a very great match from both, but still made it decently close. It's going to be the big test, I think, for sure. But yeah, anyway, appreciate everybody joining in. Join in for more Barcelona, all of that stuff, and I will see you guys at the next one for more of Rafa's return. See you guys back here at Quality Shot Tennis.